G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. Okay, well today we're going to talk about this Tracy Chapman 35th anniversary reissue. You guys have been hearing all of the 1-minute shorts that I've been putting up on the channel playing this record. I have it in orange vinyl, which is a little bit rarer, but it is a very, very interesting album, and I wanted to talk about its legacy a little bit, about the background around this album, and also what's changed since the original album. So, I mean, this was Tracy Chapman's debut album, self-titled, and there's not one dud song on this album. They're all fantastic. Tracy goes into talking about racial inequality. She talks about violence. She talks about family violence. She talks about the struggles that she's obviously been witness to and felt compelled to write about. And all of the songs on this album are, if you listen to the lyrics, really do allow you to understand some of her life experiences and some of the things that she has no doubt witnessed and fully understands to put those thoughts into lyric and then into music. Some of the differences between the original album and this album are along the lines of, originally this was a digital recording. It was 1988, and back in those days you had the Brothers in Arms thing happening. You had a lot of albums which digital was being experimented with, digital capture. And when I've listened to the OG of this album, and I find it's a little bit tipped up. It's that little bit digital sounding, a little bit like the original Brothers in Arms album sounded like to me. And it sort of just had all the detail in the world, but almost a little bit too much. The difference here is that, and let me just backtrack a little bit and give you a bit of an idea around what was done at the time. Because digital was a very new thing, a lot of studios did a safety master on tape. And that was certainly the case here with this album. The original safety master on tape was sourced for the recutting of this album. Now, Bob Ludwig did the mastering, and again, as per usual, he knocked it out of the park. And my immediate thought, now I've got this on the original release on CD, and I've certainly heard many other versions of this album over the years. And the very first thing I noticed when I put this album on was it had a sense of warmth that was missing in the other versions, a sense of real aliveness. So you had all the detail was there in this version that you've been listening to. Plenty of detail, micro, macro detail, all absolutely there to be heard. But you also had this warmth and an analog nature about the lower octave. Certainly the bass notes were phenomenal. The balance here was beautiful as well. The original album sounded a little bit light on in the lower octave. This is nailed absolutely perfectly. The remastering of this is a triumph. It's as good as anything I've heard. It is the best version of this album, I would suggest. And certainly in my system, and you guys have been hearing it as well. It's been phenomenally good. It just has a real sort of life about it now that was just that little bit missing in the original versions of this album. So it's an absolute, great journey from start to finish. This is the sort of album that I put on from the start of side one, and then I come over and turn the album over and play the whole album. It is a start to finish kind of album. And there's not a lot of albums. I mean, there are certainly plenty in my collection because I'm collecting what I love listening to. But I would also have to say that every once in a while there's a song you've got to sort of put up with rather than get up and and move the needle across. On this one, no such thing. It really just plays out from start to finish, and every song is just got another feel about it that just engages you and draws you into the album. And that's certainly been the case here. And you guys have been commenting about how, you've loved listening to it as well. And it's just been a pleasure to play it and a pleasure to listen to it. As I said, the remastering of this has been absolutely amazing. This album did well for Tracy. In 1989, it was nominated for 4 Grammy Awards. She won Best New Artist with this album. It was nominated for Song of the Year for Fast Car, and also Album of the Year. It really was a coming out of the blocks for Tracy Chapman. We all really, back in those days, went, wow, this girl can sing and play. And she certainly, I remember when it was originally released, I'm that old, but and it was certainly something I had to have. And I was buying a lot of CDs in those days, and didn't buy it on album, unfortunately. But I now have it on this version, which I think is the best version on vinyl that I've ever heard of it. So with this digital era that we live in now, streaming and downloads of the original album went through the roof for Tracy. There was a lot more interest in this album. Obviously you'd hear a cover and then you go, well, I wonder what the original sounds like. It's the first question you ask yourself. And if you hadn't heard it, obviously you go back and listen to it. And then this was released early this year in 2025. And it's been going gangbusters, apparently. A lot of sales, and we're all back into our vinyl again, thank goodness. And as much as I love my digital, I'm still I'm cut from the cloth of analog, and so analog stuff is what I love more than anything else. It just has a sense of being alive still. When I was a sound engineer, I cut tape. I was back in that era, right at the end of it, and then it all went over to Pro Tunes and digital, and I lost interest pretty quick smart back in those days, and then went on and did some live engineering at that point. But certainly, this analog safety master that was sourced for this reimagining of this album is perfect. And with someone like Bob Ludwig heading that process up, there's a real sense of getting everything in balance and everything right, and that's certainly what has been the case here. So if you're looking for this album, keep looking, persist, buy it. It is a great album. It is absolutely worth the money spent, and it is a musical journey that will open your eyes and your understanding to some of the social injustices and domestic violence issues that are so prevalent in today's society, unfortunately. And it's quality lyrics like that engage me in music, as I'm sure they will you. So 110% thumbs up for me on this one. It's been an amazing listen. You guys have enjoyed it, and by your comments on the shorts. There's one more track to play, which is Behind the Wall. And I guess that probably leads me into saying one thing. With this particular version of this album, there's one unfortunate downside, and that is on that single vocal track, Behind the Wall, which is, again, lyrically stunning and absolutely worth a listen to. There's some shadowing that goes on. You'll hear it in my system. It picks it up in the recording. I've left it till the last track to play because I wanted to do this intro and then talk to you guys a little bit about it so you can have a listen for it. And it's not hard to hear. I'm capturing here in 32-bit 192 resolution now in the room, and you're getting a really pure recording in here of what I'm listening to as close as we can. And then obviously YouTube do what they do to it, and I can't control that. As a sound engineer, that drives me bonkers, but there's nothing I can do. But there is some shadowing. So what you're hearing in a very faint sense, and you will hear it, is what the information that is in the next groove along in the record where the stylus is sitting. And we call it shadowing. and you'll hear that. It almost sounds a bit like an echo, but what you're actually hearing is what you're about to hear, what's coming. So you listen for it on that last track when I play it for you. But that's the only downside. The rest of the album musically is brilliant. You don't hear it anywhere else in the recording. You just hear it on that particular track. It really stands out, which is a bit unfortunate, and it's not there on the original pressing of this album. But musically and from an organic point of view, this album is superior in my estimation. It's really good, really good. All the detail there, but with that lovely warmth and balance in the lower octave. But that's it. Thanks very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out, have a listen to this, see if you can track it down and buy it. It's a fantastic album and well and truly worth your money. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll be talking really soon with the next things that are coming up here on the channel. Until we talk again, it's bye for now.